Tell me about a situation question that you've learned how to ask for your industry.
So, so you do the connecting, you do the opening. Okay. So in terms of like investments, what are you doing right now in terms of investment?
Yeah. It's just a basic question because you're finding out what they're currently doing. So it doesn't matter if you sell cars. It doesn't matter if you sell life insurance. It doesn't matter if you sell cybersecurity to banks. It doesn't matter if you sell, widgets to a corporation. You're finding out what they're currently doing in that area or anything like that. Okay. How did you used to try to find out somebody's situation?
So what's the biggest challenge that you have right now in terms of your investing?
Yeah.
And they're like, nothing.
Yeah. And a lot of people just don't open up to that. Because why? Because it's too early in the conversation and there's really no trust yet. And they know why you're asking that. And it triggers them to emotionally shut down, especially an investor that's more sophisticated, right? Let's talk about problem awareness questions. So how do we help them see what their real problems are? Because a lot of sales trainers will tell you, like, you have to sell to their need. The problem is, that sounds good on the surface. The problem is most prospects don't know what they need when you first start talking to them. They don't know what they don't know, right? Like if I have a headache, I'm like, oh my gosh, I got this massive migraine. I need to go to the doctor today. I've got $100. I can buy some medication. My insurance will cover the rest. And that's what you feel you need. So you go to the doctor. And if the doctor just said, oh, you need that? Okay, here's a prescription, go away. Well, maybe that solves the problem. Maybe it doesn't, because maybe he and you don't know what the real problem is. But maybe through some questions, the right questions, he's able to find out what the symptoms are and how long it's been going on and how it's affecting you and the root causes. And then he suggests that you might need to do a CAT scan. And oh, by the way, when you do that CAT scan, they find a life-threatening brain tumor in your brain and say that you've got 2 weeks to live. And if you don't get this surgery, you're going to die in 2 weeks. And that surgery is going to cost $300,000. Well, the hell with the budget that you thought you just needed some migraine medication that's going to be $100. But through that questioning, you're able to see now that you need 300 grand or you're going to die. The hell with the budget. You're going to go out and find that money. So you can never sell to the need. You have to sell to what their real problems are once you help them find the problems. You can't tell them what their problems are because that's going to go in one ear out the other. You're biased. You're the salesperson. But you have to ask the right questions that allow them to completely see what their real problems are. What's a good problem awareness question we've taught you how to use that allow them to see what some of their problems are?
So for me, like I said earlier, with after situation, a lot of the guys I talk to, they're doing quite all right. And so it's always that first question. Okay, so you're doing this, you've been doing that, you've done it for X amount of time. That's kind of why you went into real estate. So I'm just curious, like, do you like the investments that you have now? And then from there, obviously probe and clarify, because typically, like, they'll say one or two things. Yes, it's fine. Or, well, it's not fast enough, or, it's really not as large enough investment. Or what do you mean large enough?
Yeah.
Large enough for what?
You're clarifying and probing. Now, let's say they say, yeah, I like what I'm doing. Oh, what do you like about it? What do you enjoy? And then they tell you what they like. And then you ask what's called a two truths question. What's a two truths question we try to ask?
Okay. So, I mean, to be honest, it sounds like things are going fairly well for you. I mean, I guess, is there anything that you would change about the investments that you have now if you could?
Yeah, I mean, to me, help me understand, because to me, it sounds like things are going fairly well with what you're already doing as far as your investments. Is there anything you would change about your investing or returns or results if you could? I would even add a little bit more on that, because it kind of
so either the vehicle or the result. The way or the result.
Investments, results, returns. That way they can think about anything I would change about my investments, anything I would change about higher rates of return, anything I would change about maybe I need to be more liquid. So it gives them more opportunity to think about three different things, which allows them to find more problems in their mind. You're welcome on that question. Okay, now, how did you try to find out what their problems were before that?
It was always intuitive, which would mean I didn't have a sales structure. It would just be listen to what they're saying and then just probe off the end of what they would say or clarify off the end of what they would say. And that would work sometimes, but not if the person wasn't being open or transparent, or if they didn't even know what they're talking about. So
which a lot of prospects aren't open in the beginning, right? Because they don't trust you, especially if you do some type of frame in the beginning that makes them feel like, oh shit, at the end of this, he's going to clobber me in the head and try to make me pay for something, right? Okay.
Or it would just make the calls so long because they would just say a little bit and you'd say, what do you mean by that? And then they'd say a bit more. And okay, hang on, when you say that, and it would take you 10 minutes to just get through to something. So,
right. Okay. Let's talk about solution awareness questions. How do we get them to see what their future is going to look like once all of their problems that your questions have allowed them to see they have? Folks that are listening right now, if you don't understand these skills, if you don't understand NEPQ, you are losing sales literally every single day that our clients like Josh are completely making over their competitors. That can be fixed. If you want to learn those skills, in the comments section, post hashtag NEPQ. Promise we won't bite. Josh, what would have happened if you never got on a call with one of our team members?
Well, even just when you were saying that now, I was like, fuck up. Sorry, I probably can't swear. I've sorry. That I've probably lost 75 grand a month over the last 12 months if I'd have just joined Inner Circle from day one. So that's,
I think you were probably in this Facebook group a year ago, weren't you?
Oh, I mean, if I'd just jumped straight into Inner Circle
okay.
on the first month of my sales calls,
a
year and a month ago, I probably could have got to, because I look at the jump that I've made now, and I haven't even been able to turn up to all the calls, and I've already, 4x'd.
Yeah, you've probably only learned maybe 25% so far, which is the cool thing. So you can make even more money. I think I think if I remember right, you got into like our basic training, like NEPQ 2.0, maybe 6 months ago or something, 7 months ago.
Yeah, I didn't even go through it really.
Yeah, you didn't even go through it.
The only reason I went into 2.0 and 3.0 was because I was like, maybe this is a scam. So I just bought 2.0 and 3.0 just to get into Inner Circle. So I just didn't want to do the whole.
Okay, could be a scam. I mean, they almost have 5,000 plus testimonials.
Okay, that's the wrong wording. I should have clarified that. Not a scam, but it was fake. But maybe it's not as good as everyone says it is.
Okay. You're like,
not a scam. That's the wrong
all
word.
Those thousands of testimonials, they just must not be that good. They must be paying all those people. I love it.
I literally had a guy on a call today say that. I pulled up the portal for the members area and he was like, they're just screenshots.
Oh my gosh, that's funny. All right, so you got into the training. But where would you have been? You not join the training, not learn advanced skills. What do you think you'd be doing right now? Be real.
I'd 100% only be able to take, like 3-4 calls a day because it was just too exhausting to take more. Like I take 10 calls a day back to back now and it doesn't tire me out.
Yeah.
Because I'm not trying to beat them over the head. So I would never have been able to do that with my old style. And I also just feel like time would have just, you've heard the thing we're mad about the 4,000 dot poster, weeks and weeks and weeks would have just passed by staying at where I'm at.
Hoping and praying somehow, hoping and praying I'm going to make more money, more sales, somehow doing the same thing I've always done, definition of insanity. Okay, let's talk, once we've got them to see what their future is going to look like, we got them to see what their objective state looks like. We want to ask what's called a consequence question that rips that future away from them where they have to defend themselves on why they have to change now. Okay, which helps you eliminate like 80% of I want to think it over objections. What's a consequence question we've taught you how to use?
I'll be honest, I don't actually use that one yet. I throw in a why now after the solution. And so what I do is I get them to, future pace out what their solution is. And I'm like, okay, that all makes sense. But why do this now? It's coming up to Christmas, then it's New Year. And then after that, it's going to be Valentine's, and then it's Easter, and then it's summer, and then it's Christmas again, and we're on the same call. Like, why do it now rather than just put it off like everyone else does? And then it's like a consequence of why now. It's like, well, no, because then it's a year later, and then, I haven't been able to put my money to work and blah, blah, blah. So I do it a bit differently, but that's maybe why I'm not.
Yeah. Do you see what he's learned here is he's learned kind of, you mixed in like the Christmas frame that we taught you about why do it now? I mean, why do this now? I mean, why not be like some people, the people I'm talking about, they get on the call. They're like, this sounds great, but you know what? It's Christmas time. Let's just wait till Easter. Easter comes around, then Easter, I'm too busy. Then summer comes around, too busy, got friends over, got my bikini on. Then we're talking again a year later and nothing has ever changed. So why do this now? Like, why not do this later?
Oh, no, I can't do that. You've only got one life, blah, 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 blah. And then they sell themselves. And they say, okay, so it's important for you to do something about this now then. Okay. Yes. Okay, cool.
Perfect. All right. So we will skip the presentation because you're going to repeat back. Everybody's different in the presentations. We kind of, we teach you the 3-step formula of how to construct your pillars that emotionally connects. One of the biggest problems that people have when they come to us is XYZ, which causes them to ABC. So the way we solve that is go over the specific parts of how you solve that and what that means to you is, and then you go over the advantages and benefits of what that's going to do for them. At the end of that, what's your closing question? Do you ask them, do they want the red one or the blue one? Or do you ask them, do you want to start tomorrow or Wednesday at 4, the option close? Like, what's a commitment question we've taught you how to use?
So how I structure that, maybe it's not the right way, is I go, okay, so does that all make sense? That plan I've laid out for you? Yes, it does. Okay, cool. Now, in terms of the structure, the plan, like, do you feel that would take you from where you're at right now to where you want to go? This blah, 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 blah that you've already told me. Yes, I definitely think it would. But can you tell me, I guess, specifically why you feel it would? Yeah, because of A, B, and C. Yeah. And then once they've sold themselves over the fact that the solution is exactly what they need to get them to where they want to go. Okay, that all makes total sense. So I guess, where do you want to go from here?
Yeah, it's just
I want to join. I want to join. Okay,
simple commitment question. And a lot of times when we teach people that, they're like, oh no, like if I say, where do you want to go from here? I don't have any control. Little do they realize they have complete control at this point, because the sale is not won or lost at the end with some stupid option close. Do you want the red one or the green one? Do you want to take delivery tomorrow or Wednesday at 4? Like, that's not where the sale's won or lost. It's won or lost during the discovery part of that process, when you're helping them open up and find out what the real problems are, how the problems are affecting them, the root cause of the problem, where they want to go, why it's so important for them now. That's where the sale is made, right? Okay, good man. 100%. All right, Josh, this was a pleasure. Any words of advice that you would give to maybe a salesperson or a coach listening, or a consultant or a business owner that's like, man, should I get in the training? Would it really work for what I sell? I have a unique product that has to be sold a certain way. I don't know if it'd work for what I sell, even though we train like 200 some industries at this point. What would be your words of advice?
Just do it as soon as possible, because you're leaving a lot of money on the table, like a lot of money. And not only just from the skills and the training, but because when you jump into some of the higher level communities like the inner circle, without disrespecting anyone, you realize that you're playing very, very small compared to a lot of the people that are in there. Like, I thought, wow, I'm doing amazing. I'm making $25K a month in commissions, and I've only been selling for 8 months. And then you hop into inner circle and 25K is like the baby step to even get in. So
yeah, and tons of different industries. So yeah, guys, if you are looking to sell more of your products and services, like we've taught to Josh, like we've taught to literally thousands of clients at this point, in the comments section, post hashtag NEPQ, either myself, Matt Ryder, our CEO, or Marco Cortese, our Chief Revenue Officer. We'll message you more details. There's really no excuse anymore about not learning the right skills. I will promise you, folks, this training is going everywhere. It's been going everywhere the last 12 months. If you don't learn it, I guarantee you your competitors are starting to learn it now, and they will crush you. You will not stand a chance when your competition gets their hands on what we train them. Josh, imagine you knowing what you know now compared to people who you compete with that sell for other companies. Who do you think would come out selling to that one prospect?
100% me. And also I'd feel a lot more comfortable doing it. It feels very relaxing. You're just having a conversation with someone. And if you get to a point where you're at an impasse because their mindset or something, then you talk them through that. Whereas being like, you're an idiot because of A, B, and C, like that just doesn't work every time. Yeah. And it's very frustrating to do it and very tiring.
Yeah. And it's the right way when a lot of people are like, oh my gosh, I feel like you're my psychiatrist. That's exactly what you want, because they feel that you are there to help them overcome their concerns, their objections, and you're there to help them overcome that so they can solve their problems and get where they want to go, get what they want. Which is more risky? Is it more risky for them to buy your product or service to get what they want, solve their problems, or is it more risky for them to do nothing at all, stay in the status quo, nothing ever changes? Which is more risky? Pretty easy choice. Okay, Josh, thanks for being on. You're doing well. You're still only got 25% of this down. I can't wait to see what happens when you learn 50% of this.
Thank you, man. Thank you for everything.
All right, my man. Talk to you soon. I'll see you, I guess, on the Inner Circle call in 4 minutes. All right, everybody. See you soon.
Bye.
Hey, guys, if you enjoyed these, here's another you can watch right over here, right over here. Join our free Sales Revolution group. Click the link below. Join us, and we're going to help you. Thanks for watching. We'll see you real soon.